Okay, I do hope this is recording properly because I don't know why it's not on my screen record, so hopefully it records properly. Basically, this Death Battle was like a year old. I was just watching through the Death Battle playlist. I was like, which one intrigues me enough to do a video on? Rick Sanchez versus the Doctor. Don't know much about the Doctor. I've only fairly recently, I mean, I've seen like Doctor Who's in different like aspects, but in like the show The Doctor, I'm literally just a YouTube short person on that aspect. Like, I just scroll through shorts, see The Doctor, I'm like, okay, I'm like, YouTube shorts make sometimes just so bad. I cannot watch through The Doctor. I tried, actually. I watched like the first season, trying to watch for it. I was like, nah. Plus, when you watch through like a couple seasons, add the changes, because that's how The Doctor goes on. So, yeah. I don't know much about him, I'm going to be honest. And, yes, and then Rick Sanchez, I know.
This video is sponsored by
too
BetterHelp.
much lore-wise, to be honest. Like, I can't remember much.
Rick Sanchez,
The Doctor.
these brilliant geniuses dominate the cosmos, but who would win an all-out brawl? He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills
I'm
to find
gonna
out
vote
who would
for
win
Rick, 'cause I know
a death
more, and
battle.
he's also like, wait, is that like
Everything about
Morty.
Morty Smith's life was perfectly average.
Yeah, we know.
Average house, average family, average
I
school.
don't think they actually
Maybe
have an
slightly
episode where
below
Rick
average
shows up.
intelligence.
But everything changed the day his grandpa
The
Rick
episode,
came home.
like, the first
Yeah,
episode
in
started, the thing was
style,
like,
because Rick Sanchez is
That's something wrong.
anything
Let's see
but
that whole
average.
flashback
Rick
of
is
that.
easily the smartest man in the universe, and its most dangerous
Universe
criminal.
for, like,
He spent
cut
years
off
on the
from
run from the
other
Galactic
universes.
Federation, going on adventures across the multiverse.
Who cares about the emotional trauma from abandoning his daughter, right? And then he took her son and put him in life-threatening danger. Bye!
Thus formed the greatest duo of
Wait.
going on adventures.
Oh. Full name Rick Sanchez, age 70 years. Is he 70? I actually don't even know his age, to be honest. Height, 6 foot, well, 6'6". 1 centimeters. Home dimension C137. So we're obviously using the main Rick, aka the smartest man in the universe. Galactic federal criminal. Okay. Likes McDonald's alcohol plants. Don't know about that. I have no idea. But dislikes pirates, squirrels, Rick Prime. His blue hair is natural.
Across the multiverse.
Who cares about the emotional trauma from abandoning his daughter, right? And then he took her son and put him in life-threatening danger. Bye!
Thus formed the greatest duo of the generation. Rick and Morty.
Yeah, mostly Rick. Morty's the cannon fodder who smuggles grapefruit-sized seeds up his
That looks
ass.
funny
And that's
as
just
hell.
the first episode.
Rick is an unparalleled inventor, always ready to face even the squanchiest of
He has
alien
a
foes.
lot-
He's
Like,
got your
items.
usuals. Laser gun, invisibility belt, shrink ray, cyborg implants, the works.
As well as some
usual.
weirder things, like a Mr. Meeseeks box, which can summon an infinite number of irritating temporary life forms that will work
Nanofiltered Omega device, Operation Phoenix, portal gun, time manipulators, time stop, probability manipulation, respawn button.
tirelessly
The respawn button is not the respawning. If it's the thing I'm talking about, it's like where Morty replaces himself in a different universe and the other Morty feels the pain.
to accomplish
Like,
a
ends
given
up having
task.
that choice.
Or a series of android decoys that are so perfectly created,
decoy
they don't
episode.
even realize they're decoys, which leads them to create
Yeah, that
decoys
was-
that
that
create
honestly
decoys and
was
so on.
literally-
Rick's gadgets can erase your
Yeah, I actually
memories,
wanted to
manipulate and
also do
travel
that.
through time, and even make a surface true level, as in perfectly flat,
Thing is,
something
the
normally
Doctor
mathematically
literally is
impossible.
like a terrorist
So
with time, that's why I know
beautiful
about
that
him.
experiencing it for only a moment before returning
terrorist,
to
but, like,
non-Euclidean
you know, like,
space
he's,
can
like,
emotionally
consistent.
scar you for life.
He can even
Insane
inject
time.
you with his
Like,
own
everyone's
genetic
scared of
info and instantly chest burst a clone of himself from inside you, like a pasty alcoholic
Oh,
xenomorph.
okay.
What the hell?
Rick and Morty travel the universe in the Space Cruiser. Powered by a microverse under the hood, this
Artificial intelligence, automatic parking. Wait, what? Dark matter based engine, distinct gun, flamethrowers, grow relay, minicros based power cell. Yeah, minicroverse. microverse power. That's what I was thinking of. Like, he has a whole planet in his thing. That was a whole episode of that, and it was insane. Robot arms, windshield wipers.
Packed starship comes equipped with laser cannons, a fishing line that can tow a solar system, and a unique artificial intelligence.
With all that crazy sci-fi gear, Rick and Morty's adventures were absolutely bonkers.
From disentangling a time loop created by alien snakes to battling the metafictional story
Things
lord
Rick
to
himself
Rick turning himself
isn't,
into
I
a
wouldn't say
pickle to
stretched. He's
avoid
always,
family
gods and
therapy.
stuff, but,
This
like,
guy
don't get
would
me,
rather battle the
this line
Russian
isn't
mafia
strong
as a
by
vegetable
weapons,
than
though.
address his
Like, this
feelings.
guy
Actually,
really-
pickle's a fruit.
Because boy oh boy, does he have a lot of them.
Behind the fart jokes and wubba-lubba-dub-dubs, Rick harbors bitter emotional agony.
Way back when, in a completely different universe, the Rick we know had a happy life until another Rick from another universe took it all away, the bastard.
But like me, Rick is a true inventor, and
It's
this
quite
tragedy
I'm
spurred
actually
him to
really
craft
happy
his
people go back
greatest
and make Big Brick
creation,
Prime.
the portal gun.
My scans indicate it creates holes through all aspects of space-time, allowing Rick to travel anywhere in the multiverse. It sounds exhausting.
It can do more than that. It can slice you in half, set up traps, and even...
That's coming out of your paycheck.
Nuh-uh.
Decades of traveling the multiverse hunting down the man who ruined his life darkened Rick's heart. He began to ask himself, if there are an infinite number of universes with an infinite number of each person, how did any individual life matter?
Sounds like he's overthinking it.
Like the time he accidentally
Yeah.
turned all of humanity into horrific Cronenbergs. He and Morty
Hey,
had to
yeah,
escape
that
to a
was
parallel
really cool. I
universe
will
where they
break for
swap
that.
places with recently deceased versions of themselves. What does that do to a person?
Makes him badass when Rick found the interdimensional...
Officially dubbed the Rickiest Rick. That is actually crazy, by the way. The Rickiest Rick. Like that tile. Dodged automatic gunfire, the pickle, space cruiser, so told a solar system, dismantled the galaxy with freedom, survived a space cruiser crash, flew to the galaxy and back in one evening, defeated the Citadel of Ricks, the World End, the President, the Rick Prime. Honestly, realistically, I don't see
Council
them
of Ricks,
defying
he kicked
multiple
their
himself.
teeth in. Like they say, he's the Rickest Rick of them all.
That he is. Just touching the hem of his coat can activate his energy shield or even induce instant death. Yes,
Oh, yeah, he also
instant.
has the
No, it
instant
isn't explained
death
why.
thing.
Though considering this reaction, it's likely a chemical released through the coat's lining.
Rickest Rick whiz, he's dodged an orbital
Okay,
space
that
laser
was-
from
I-
just a few
no,
feet
that's
away.
just a
He's so
little
smart, he figured out he's in a
It's
TV
probably
show.
insane.
Yep,
Like, wow.
really.
Perhaps most mysterious is Operation Phoenix, a series of clone bodies that his consciousness can be uploaded to upon his death. Despite eventually taking it
Pretty sure
offline,
when you
his
could
mind
look
is
like
still
him-
connected to every other Operation Phoenix across the multiverse.
Giving him an infinite number of extra lives, even if some of them are shrimps and fascists.
Some of his devices can destroy the Earth, the universe,
Yeah, but
even
both
numerous
of them
alternate
basically live off
timelines.
of
He
that.
actually did that just
Think.
to manipulate the stock market.
Though underneath the drunken god complex, there's still a glimmer of the family man Rick used to be.
Well, as much as he insists that love is just a chemical reaction in the brain, he does care about his daughter and grandkids. And Jerry, sometimes.
He's taken on an alien Zeus, the president of the United States, and the actual devil, even exiting the bounds of fiction into meta-reality, fighting Jesus H. Leaping Christ himself, and meeting Joseph Campbell. Talk about a hero's journey.
Challenge Rick at your will. He might look like a scrawny, drunken septuagenarian, and he is, but he's also, somehow, the greatest warrior in the universe.
And you can lick his balls.
It's 50% off your first month at Pure Gym
That's-
with no joining fee. It's the kind of
That's the last
motivation
video
you
advert. Death battle.
Ian Chesterton and Barbara Wright were just your average school teachers, with a less than average student. Susan was odd, almost like an alien. And when they met her grandfather and his police box, they found out why.
They were aliens, and that police box was the TARDIS, a 2-in-1 spaceship and time machine.
Thus, they were whisked away into the stars, kicking off over half a century of timey-wimey adventures with a revolving cast of companions, like Sarah Jane Smith, Rose Tyler, the Brigadier, Amy Pond, and so many more.
Complete with the cheesiest special effects you've ever seen.
This madman with a box had a name he would never tell, and a history he would always run from. He was only known as the Doctor.
Doctor who?
Exactly.
Doctor exactly?
Though the Doctor's origins are shrouded in mystery, we know they were born several thousand years ago.
Full name unknown. Okay, I think them having the name unknown is great. I feel that we'll probably, if you are a fan of the series, they'll probably end with his name. But with unknown, you can consistently replace the cast and all that. It makes it a bit more thingy. At age at least 2,000 years. Species, Time Lord, shortest height 5'6", 5.6, whatever. Tallest height has had 7 spouses, including, and I don't know who they are, jelly babies, how bow ties, companions, dislikes, apples, whatever that is, and Daleks.
And earned degrees in cosmic science and higher dimensional physics.
But he got bored with the stuffy Time Lord bureaucrats, stole a TARDIS, and explored time and space as a runaway. Who can forget those adventures, chasing dinosaurs on a spaceship, dueling Robin Hood with a spoon, or shoving Hitler in a closet?
Yeah, we know it's kind of weird. It's British.
But if you don't know who's who, you're probably wondering, who are all these people? A bunch of old guys, young guys, a lady, and one of the Three Stooges?
What? The Doctor is a Time Lord from the planet Gallifrey. Time Lords may look human, but couldn't be more different. Not only do they have 2 hearts, they literally experience time differently. They can see past, present, and future all at once. They can resist temporal phenomena such as time stops and can tamper with fixed points in time. They're effectively acausal beings.
This makes them super hard to predict and nearly impossible to erase from any timeline. They can even breach the bounds of space and talk directly to you. Yes, you at home. Hello there.
Time Lords are practically walking Deus Ex Machinas. In fact, a lot of them would be proud to be called that.
Yeah, the Doc ran away for a reason. Time Lords are a bit dodgy.
The Doctor has hypnotized with a glance, resisted mind control, survived deadly radiation, and even learned transmigration, as in the ability to summon an object out of thin air. Sounds crazy, but it's apparently standard fare for Time Lord Academy.
But the reason why there are so many Doctors is that Time Lords have a funny way of cheating death.
Upon receiving a fatal wound, the Doctor undergoes regeneration, gaining a new, healthy body.
It's way more than that. While reloading, the Doctor has regrown lost limbs, become strong enough to knock down steel doors, and even weaponized his own time energy.
Downside being, if a Time Lord dies during regeneration, that ends the process permanently.
To date, we've seen 14 versions of the Doctor, plus a few extras mixed in here and there. Hell, by the time you're watching this, you've probably seen the 15th. Or the 16th!
The experiences each Doctor gains changes and affects the next Doctor, and the next, and so on. Each Doctor maintains the same memories, but with an all-new personality.
Some like bow ties, some like jelly babies, some kick butt with Venusian karate, and some really hate the monarchy, probably cause they're werewolves.
But they always have one thing in common.
They are British!
Well, one other thing in common. The Doctor always enjoys the thrill of adventure, and they've got plenty of tech to help, like the sonic screwdriver. Utilizing sonic waves to manipulate nearby objects, it can pick locks, cause detonations, and fry circuitry. It's sort of a Swiss Army plot device that can hack.
Okay, invisibility watch, perception filters, psychic paper, sonic screwdriver, sonic sunglasses, temporal lock, the DMAT, time bracelet, time ruse in the 20s. Okay, that's it.
Its way through most problems. The perfect pacifist tool for resolving conflict.
Its only weakness is that it doesn't do wood or turkey, though considering it can destroy machines, disrupt molecules, and even erase memories, I'll take it.
The Doctor doesn't often carry weapons. There's an invisibility watch, a time travel ring, psychic paper that tricks basically everyone, and perception filters that prevents others from noticing certain things, even people.
But the Doc does reluctantly have a few weapons stored away, like the dematerialization gun.
It might look slapped together with Hobby Lobby pipes, but the DMAT can literally erase you from time. As in, it causes you to have never existed in the first
How
place.
does that work?
But
Like,
if you
as in
never
you've done what
existed,
fires?
then the gun would have never needed to fire, which means you weren't wiped from existence, which means the gun would need to fire, which means...
Yeah, like, I'm assuming it doesn't, it just erases you technically from existence, but like your stuff you did still
Did you
matters.
say something? That's not the only time erasing tool in the Doctor's box. But we gotta talk about, you know, the box. Shabby blue police
I'm
box
sure
on
Rick
the
can
outside.
counter that,
Incredible
like-
time machine that's bigger on
Thing
the
is with Rick,
inside.
he doesn't like
this
dealing with
is
time
the
travel. So this is
TARDIS.
kind of
The
like
time and relative dimension in space is a sentient ship that travels space and time with...
Like, Rick literally always says, let's avoid all that time travel stuff. It's just too thingy. Time and relative dimension in space, or TARDIS, okay. Time and relative dimension in space, artificial reconfiguration system, artificial intelligence, manipulates its own interior space and time, temporal grace interior, reactor beam, transmat beam, weather manipulator, jazz socket. Are they gonna like fight through time? Because that would be sick.
ease. It's strong enough to tow planets, powerful enough to stop antimatter from destroying
Thing is,
the
Rick
universe,
can time
and
travel.
tough enough
He
to
has time
tank
travel
lightning
stuff
from
in these
Zeus.
things.
Yes, the
It's just like
god
he doesn't
Zeus.
do it.
It can even adjust its interior to an infinite degree, both in terms of
The right
space and time.
So, if the TARDIS doesn't like you, you might get lost inside it forever. Don't piss off the TARDIS.
Or any of the Doctor's enemies, some of the universe's deadliest monsters, Cybermen, Zygons, Weeping Angels.
And the Slitheen, the big chunky aliens that took over 10 Downing Street and couldn't stop farting.
Even when the Doctor prefers not to resort to fisticuffs, he's tough enough to...
Feats are ended the last Great War single-handedly. Inserted several lasers in nanoseconds. Contain the Celestial Toymaker universe inside the TARDIS. Punched through 20 feet of, I don't know, over 2 billion years. TARDIS pulled Earth halfway across the universe. Defeated Cyberman. Delix Omega, the Master.
survive bolts of lightning that vaporized an ordinary human. He's even dodged half a dozen disintegration rays, while also improvising several thousand calculations in a matter of nanoseconds.
Yeah, the Doctor's super smart. So smart his brain once powered a 1,000-year-old supercomputer.
The Doctor's outwitted cosmic entities like the Great Intelligence, the Time Lord Nemesis, the Master, and apparently the original Satan, who isn't even the most frightening alien in the multiverse, because that would be the Daleks.
Alright, bear with me here. They may look like trash cans with plungers, but they can exterminate
Yeah, but, like, if I
anything
saw
that gets
that
in their
and
way.
that,
Even
I'll be
all
more
of space
terrified
and
of the other
time.
thing, but
Like
when
when
it's
they
coming-
battled the Time Lords to extinction
By
in
the
the
time I see
last
that, I'm
Great
gonna be
Time
terrified.
War.
I'll be
A
dead
war
before
that
I'd be
showed a
terrified.
darker side to the Doctor. Thrust into a conflict that put all of reality at risk, the Doctor became a warrior, a soldier, a killer.
A sight of him that had always been there, hiding just under that cheeky grin.
Finally, in a single moment, the Doctor pressed a big red button to end the war and all of Gallifrey once and for all.
As much as he didn't like the Time Lords, the Doctor cares for life above all things. So genociding his own people was the worst thing that could possibly happen.
As the last of the Time Lords, the Doctor proved to be the most dangerous person in the universe. Isolation threatened to turn him into the very type of Time Lord he despised, a master who controls the laws of time, the Time Lord victorious.
Yeah, I would
And
never
God
want
help
to
your
kill
immortal
time.
soul if you piss him off. If he's desperate or if you threaten his friends, you won't be prepared for how far he'll go. Like trapping you in every
Dude,
mirror
like,
in
I feel like
existence,
the time,
imprisoning you in the event
realistically, the
horizon of a
Doctor
collapsing
kinda cares
galaxy, or
a lot
suspending
more
you
for
in
people
time
than
to be
Rick does.
used as a scarecrow.
Fortunately, Gallifrey wasn't destroyed. It turns out the Doctor all of the doctors saved the Time Lords, but just forgot about it until time could catch up to them. It's complicated.
Still, even their biggest L turned out to be a dub in disguise. That's how you know you're fantastic.
But a doctor's job is never finished. Without witness, without reward, you'll never know when they'll show up to save the day. But if you happen to be up against the doctor, there's really only one thing you can do. Run. This video is sponsored by BetterHelp.
It's that time of year again. The weather's getting colder, the ground is get matched with
and we've run 10% off your first month.
That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/death battle.
Death battle.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Oh, jeez, Rick. It was my fault.
Shut the fuck up, Morty! I knew Time Lords were suicidal morons, but I didn't know they never invented rearview mirrors!
Are you sick? You're the one who hit me. Oh, go on, I'm busy.
Son of a bitch, he's ignoring me?
Okay, that does sound so okay, they got back.
Holy, it was shit! Keep Morty safe!
What are you... Uh-oh! No! Oh, what did they do to you?
Oh, this is just Paul's school son. Like going having pods now.
Queensbury rules?
Pretty sure you can
Revolution karate?
Oh, maybe
Keep
wrong.
quipping, asshole! Maybe you'll find a good joke on the ground next to your teeth!
On guard!
So animation. Are you telling me that Scoot's holding on to his sword?
Oh, this place looks fun. Do they have a little shop? I like little shops.
I wouldn't like to by the way this is going, I'm assuming you
Well, blink as much as you can. They're scared of rapid movement.
Motherfucker.
What? What?
My balls, sucker!
Oh, you brilliant old girl. Switching rooms around. Fantastic.
Oh yeah, they just switch, right?
It's fun to be the class clown till you get shot. Now hurry up, I got a grandson waiting on me. He won't die an idiot like you.
I know your type. The nihilist know-it-all. But through all this wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey rubbish, there's one thing you never quite understood. I'm the doctor, and I don't want to go. Quite impressive craft, Morty. You built it yourself?
I guess so.
Then you've got a bright future ahead. Don't be a cynic.
Morty, if you forget me, I'll haunt your ass.
Who the fuck are you?
KO! Live by the portal, die.
Wait.
Morty, if you forget me, I'll haunt your ass.
Who the fuck are you?
Okay, he got erased from time, I believe, right? right? That's what, if any got erased, but like, I don't understand how he's still, I mean, I know this because he's like the hologram thing, right? He can still be reincarnated into his old bodies, so he's not like so dead.
KO! Live by the portal, die by the portal.
Let's break this down. First off, Rick and the Doctor could both dodge lasers, making them pretty even, so neither could reliably win a quick draw.
Also, neither have shown any consistent signs of strength all that different from an above-average human.
The Doctor could get a superhuman strength boost during regeneration, but that is fairly incidental. So as far as physical ability is concerned, neither had a significant edge.
But when it comes to weapons, Rick had way more deadly killing machines, a lot of which could wipe out whole planets, galaxies, and more. If he could get the jump on the Doctor, he'd have a good chance of winning.
Of course, their similar speeds meant he probably wasn't getting that opportunity. There's no denying his firepower was superior overall, but that still had to contend with the Doctor's technology.
Yeah, despite all of Rick's crazy inventions, most of which could kill a normal person instantly, the Doctor matched or countered pretty much all of it.
Being a Time Lord meant he could resist any time-warping trickery Rick threw at him, and the sonic screwdriver could hack and even destroy nearly everything Rick had. The Sonic has even disabled teleportation and time travel technology before, making it more than capable of hijacking Rick's portal gun, which has been hacked in the past.
With that
hacked
gun,
in
Rick
half
was
because it
kind of
had,
a sitting duck.
Operation
it's not
Phoenix
like
makes
random,
killing
like,
Rick
technology,
permanently
so
almost
it's like random, like,
impossible.
floating
But the
about.
Doctor's reality-altering tech like the DMAT meant there would be no Rick left to upload to a new body at all, effectively ending the fight in a single shot. And that was hardly the only reality-warping super weapon the Doctor had access to. The Doctor's technology presented a clear advantage.
Now let's talk ships. This one's pretty clear-cut. The space cruiser was a deadly machine that towed a solar system, but the TARDIS single-handedly held off a universe-destroying event. That's an edge for the Doctor.
But perhaps most important of all was their experience and intelligence.
Rick mastered space and time to the point of becoming a veritable god. But you could say the same for the Doctor, who is way older. It's kind of like the Doctor has been Rickin' for many times longer than Rick himself.
And when push comes to shove, the Doctor is just as experienced of a warrior as Rick ever was, if not more so.
11 spent 900 years battling Daleks, Cybermen, Sontarans, and more on Trenzalore and came out on top.
And don't forget how quickly the Doctor can formulate, calculate, and initiate plans. Like when he dodged half a dozen rays and improvised thousands of calculations in his head to siphon the ray's energy into a teleporter, all in a matter of nanoseconds.
Rick usually relies on being the smartest guy in the room. When he's forced to battle people at his own level, he's often outsmarted, like with the Prime Rick or, gasp, a Morty.
Rick was a formidable genius, but the Doctor's incredible technology, unmatched intelligence, and thousands of years of experience gave him the win.
Jeez, I bet Rick was absolutely mortified to lose.
The winner is the Doctor.
Death battle.
Hi, I'm Ben, the voice of Wiz. Thank you so much.
Honestly, the animation's really good here. I think the animation's really good. I will probably be showing out other death battles or whatever, just for the sake of, like, you know, checking them out and doing it. So yeah, I'm gonna probably look through the death battles after this, just to see if there's any interesting ones to check through and maybe do another video on. These videos will, I don't know how much will come out. But yeah, there's also an Among Us and Fall Guys one, which I do want to do a video on. That will be kind of fun, just do a video on that. We'll have to see. I'm talking a lot because I don't have a face cam for this, and it'll probably be edited in a way that doesn't, like, take it completely, you know, just a video. So yes, I feel like Rick could have won, but at the same time, I don't know much about Doctor. They do explain it, of course, but like at the same time, if I think about it, Rick could probably build something similar, knowing him, but like he's just too lazy to do it. So he could probably build a weapon like that, but it's like, the thing is, I feel like he's way less lazy. And I do also love, you know, this at the end. No, I don't love that advert, that's for sure. I do not love that advert.
As found on my posting and verb.
Then you've got a bright.
If I go share, by the way, this is the pose. Got on my toilet journals. There's a lot I can do, which I do want to do a thing on. So I will look for these just to, like, find a video to do. Yeah. one that I haven't seen elsewhere, of course. Man, there's a lot. Yeah, and then maybe if they release new ones, they did release one, but I already watched it, I was not react to it, so yeah. If they release another one, I'll probably do a video on that. Like, they release once a month, I think, something probably like that. I don't really know when they release them, but either way, it's just fun to do this. Also, I wanted to do this one first because I found it, and second of all, because Rick and Morty Season 8, I believe, is coming out. I think it's Season 8. Season 8 is coming out soon. So it makes sense to do the season thingy, if you know what I mean. It just makes sense at the end of the day. Yeah, nothing really to it. It just makes sense to do a Rick and Morty one, but Season 8 is coming out. This will be added by Rick and Morty players, by the way, and the Death Power players I have. Yeah, honestly, the whole explanation, they do pick out a lot of stuff. Once they introduce like the thing where it erases you, I was like, okay, if he gets hit, basically his whole like, you know, being resurrected through like other clones will not matter. It's like they obviously have to make some way for them to interact, like, you know, and actually start a fight. With the Doctor just like, yep, bye. He's like, do you ignore me? And he just chases after him. I feel like Rick wouldn't do that, but it does sound like saying Rick would do it at the same time. I don't really know. Yes, that battle was really good, to be honest. Even if my character I wanted to win didn't win, I'm still a bit salty about it. But at the end of the day, Doctor and Rick are like quite even, I think. It's just a Doctor had that one gun that basically erased it, and he managed to use Rick's own pools against them. Yeah. Okay, without further ado, I'll see you guys next time. Make sure to subscribe and do all that great stuff. Great, does help me out a lot. And yeah, bye guys.